Music is a soundtrack to our lives, or at least in my opinion it is, and it's easy to lose yourself in music, especially if the song resonates with you in some way or another, whether the song deals with sadness or a struggle that you've encountered yourself. Here are 5 songs that are, in my opinion, essential on any gay man's playlist.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood released Relax in the UK in late 1983. With its moans, innuendos and unapologetic gay imagery in the video, it was one of the most explicitly queer singles of the decade.
Do you believe in life after love?
October of 1998 saw Cher return to the top of the charts with Believe, a song that didn't just define late 90s pop, but it also became a full-blown gay anthem. Bold around pulsing dance beats and that groundbreaking auto-tuned vocal hook, Believe was defiant, hopeful and impossible not to move on to. The lyrics, Do You Believe in Life After Love, spoke to resilience and reinvention, ideas deeply tied to the gay experience of survival and renewal. The song topped charts in 23 countries and became one of the best-selling singles of all time. For the gay community, it was more than just a hit, it was a catharsis. After a decade marked by loss from AIDS and cultural backlash, Cher's message of moving forward felt personal. It played in clubs, echoed at pride parades and became shorthand for gay endurance. And almost 3 decades later, its first notes still light up dance floors. Proof that in 1998, Cher didn't just make a comeback, she gave the world permission to believe again.
What have you done today to make you feel proud?
Heather Small's Proud came out in May of 2000 and immediately started climbing the charts, but it was when the US version of Queer as Folk used it over the opening credits montage that it became a sacred text. What have you done today to make you feel proud? That line hit different when you were 20, closeted and watching Brian Kinney stride into Babylon. Suddenly, every pride stage from London to Sydney to San Francisco had Heather's gospel house belt ringing out while thousands of us screamed the words back at her.
Everybody's free.
If the queer community of 1991 had a soundtrack, it was equal parts house and dance floor exaltation. Released in 1991, Rosalla's hit single Everybody's Free became an instant dance floor hit. The song's message, permission to feel, to move and to exist, carried obvious resonance for queer club culture, where the dance floor was part refuge, part cathedral. Janet Jackson's Together Again from her album The Velvet Rope was released in October 1997. This upbeat dance track topped the Billboard Hot 100 for weeks and became a staple in clubs. What made it special was its heartfelt origin. Jackson wrote it as a tribute to friends she'd lost to AIDS, turning grief into celebration of life and reunion. The lyrics like Everywhere I go, every smile I see, I know you are there smiling back at me, capture the sense of eternal connection. It quickly earned its place as a gay anthem, and was played at pride events and memorials alike. Jackson's allyship shone through. She dedicated it to all those affected by the epidemic, and its joyful energy provided comfort during a time when the community was still healing from heavy losses. Hearing it now brings back memories of house parties or late night drives, where the beat just lifted everyone's spirits. In August 1980, Diana Ross released what would become a gay anthem for the ages. It was written by Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards, and the song was directly inspired by seeing drag queens dressed up as Diana in New York clubs. Nile Rodgers realized Diana didn't just have fans, she had a queer army. Sure, Diana Ross was a bit hesitant to record the song, afraid that it would get backlash and wouldn't get any airplay, but with a bit of convincing from Rodgers, the rest was basically history. When the song came out, it was an instant hit, not just with gay listeners, but basically everyone who was fed up with conforming to norms. It was an anthem celebrating being true to oneself and living unshamed. The song wasn't subtle, it was literal. It arrived at a time when coming out was still a radical, even dangerous act. But here was Diana Ross, diva royalty, singing it loud and proud, and queer people embraced it as a soundtrack to their truth. But the song also came at another pivotal moment. It was also at the start of the Disco Sucks movement. By 1980, major radio stations and labels abandoned disco almost overnight. Some even banned disco records entirely, especially after the infamous Disco Demolition Night in July of 1979, where thousands of disco records were blown up at a baseball stadium in Chicago, symbolizing this backlash.
1, 2, 3, boom! I mean, it was frightening. It was there was vinyl everywhere, flying everywhere, and it caught on fire. I mean, it was awesome though.
Disco was considered too black, too queer, too liberal for the mainstream to handle, especially in the early 1980s. While disco died in the charts, it stayed alive and thrived in underground gay clubs in New York, Chicago, and beyond. Only a handful of artists, including Diana Ross, could keep disco alive in the 1980s. Green Day's King for a Day from their album Nimrod, which was also released in October 1997, tackled gender norms head-on, with lyrics about cross-dressing starting from childhood. Frontman Billie Joe Armstrong, who identifies as bisexual, drew from personal experiences, making it a bold statement against toxic masculinity. The song's ska-infused horns and energetic vibe made it fun to mosh to at concerts, but its message challenged listeners to question stereotypes. Armstrong has spoken about how exploring identity through music helped him, and fans in the gay community latched onto it as an early nod to fluidity. It's one of those tracks that reminds us how punk rock was opening doors for expression in the late 90s.
Finally, it's happened to me.
And then there was Finally by CeCe Peniston. It was never meant to be a gay anthem, but it became one almost overnight. Finally is a kind of record that turns up at every pride brunch, bridal montage, and late night club set. It's pure ecstasy, gospel-tingled vocals, thumping house energy, and lyrics that felt like a personal liberation anthem. And for a lot of queer listeners, it was a victory lap in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. These tracks weren't just hits, they were emotional infrastructure. When mainstream radio or club DJs played them, folks heard liberation amplified. And in a year when mainstream queer representation would be dicey or tokenized, dance music handed out the good stuff. You might also want to check out my smaller channels. I've got a channel where I show you what it's like to live in a tropical jungle where we live, as well as a gaming channel that's not just about gaming, but also about comedy. So you might want to check that one out. Hi, I'm here to do a video about the settlement and...
Oh geez, you're not wearing any clothes. That's not, normal.
I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, and a subscription would be nice. It is the easiest way to support a creator on YouTube, and that way I know that the videos that I create for you resonates with you. Also, you might want to check out some of the other great videos on my channel. You don't have to, but if you want to. I also have Patreon, where you'll find stuff that you won't find on YouTube. Like not behind the scenes, but extended cuts of videos and not safe for work videos that I make. Not of myself, but of the videos that I make for YouTube. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.